You ever wonder how to get someone to just not stop thinking about you? I'm not talking about blowing up their phone. I'm not talking about smothering them with attention. I'm talking about a way that's smarter, more subtle. A way to basically live inside their head, rent-free. See, a lot of guys think that to make a woman miss you, you have to give her everything. All your time, all your attention, your whole life story on the first date. But the psychology is actually the complete opposite. It's not about what you give her. It's about what you leave for her imagination to work on. Today, we're breaking down 5 simple, but seriously powerful ways, all rooted in real psychology, to make any woman miss your presence. But before we get into that, look, if you like this kind of content, real psychology, no games, just what actually works, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button right now and tap the notification bell. It takes 1 second and it lets me know you want more of this. Alright, you done? Cool, let's get into it. 1. The emotional echo. The first principle is the most important one, so listen close. Women don't actually miss you. They miss the way you made them feel. That's the raw truth. Think about it. A guy dates a girl years ago, just for a few weeks. Nothing crazy. Months after it ends, she sends him a text out of nowhere. The text doesn't say, "I miss your face," or "I miss your car." It says, "I still remember the way you looked at me when you teased me about my weird coffee order." Out of everything they did, what stuck? A tiny moment, a look, a tone of voice, something so small, but it carried an echo. Our brain doesn't remember data. It remembers feelings. When you give her a moment that's charged with energy, whether it's real, deep laughter, an intelligent challenge, or genuine warmth, you create an emotional imprint. Later, when she's alone, her brain replays that moment like a song stuck on loop. That's what missing you really is. It's her mind replaying your echoes. So, how do you use this? Stop trying to impress her with grand gestures. Focus on the small, charged imprints. Hold eye contact just a half second longer than normal. When you tease her, lower your voice just a bit. A light, brief touch on her wrist or arm when she laughs, and then pull back. Don't overdo it. Just leave that echo hanging in the air. Trust me, what you make her feel in 5 seconds will stick in her memory way longer than what you say in 50 minutes. 2. The mystery gap, but those echoes fade if you're an open book. This brings us to principle 2. Give her something to wonder about, something for her brain to chase when you're gone. Here's the thing about the human brain. It hates unfinished business. It hates an open loop. It will obsess over a puzzle until it finds the answer. The fatal mistake most guys make is oversharing. They text her every detail of their day. They explain all their feelings, all their plans. Sure, it feels like closeness, but it kills all the tension. She doesn't have to miss you because she already knows everything. There's no gap for her mind to fill. Now, compare that to this. A guy is talking to a girl after class, they're laughing, the vibe is great, and right at the peak of the conversation, he checks his watch and says, "All right, I've got things to do. I'll catch you later." She's left mid-curiosity. She asks, "Where are you going?" He just smirks and says, "You'll see," and walks away. What happens? She goes home thinking about him. What was he doing? Why was he so mysterious? That's the mystery gap. You don't have to be some Hollywood mystery man. You just have to stop spoon-feeding her certainty. Let her imagination do the heavy lifting for you. 3. The emotional anchor. So, we've got the echo and the gap. Now, how do you tie them to you permanently? That's principle 3. Anchoring positive states. If an emotional echo is the feeling you create, the anchor is the trigger you plant to bring that feeling back. Here's a real-life example. A guy knew a girl loved spontaneity. So instead of the boring "let's get dinner" text, he once sent her, "Be ready in 10 minutes. I'm kidnapping you." They ended up just getting ice cream at midnight and sitting on the hood of his car, just talking under a streetlight. That night, she laughed so hard she cried. 2 months after they stopped seeing each other, he gets a text. It says, "I just drove past that ice cream spot and thought of you." That's the anchor. The ice cream wasn't special. The streetlight wasn't special. What was special was the state, the laughter, the adrenaline, the spark that she unconsciously attached to him. How do you do it? Simple. At her peak emotional moment, when she's laughing her hardest, leaning in closest, when her eyes are sparkling at a unique cue. Maybe it's a specific phrase only you use. "Your trouble, you know that?" Maybe it's a playful nudge on her arm. Maybe it's a look you hold 1 second too long. Then, you withdraw while the emotion is still high. Don't stick around until the moment fades. That way, her brain locks that peak feeling. To you. 4. Strategic scarcity. This next one is the most misunderstood principle of all. When guys hear scarcity, they think it means playing games, waiting 3 hours to text back, acting cold, pretending to be busy. That's not scarcity. That's just insecurity, wearing a mask. And women can smell it a mile away. Real scarcity isn't about time, it's about certainty. When a woman is 100% sure she's got you, she can relax. And when she relaxes, the chase dies. But when there's that tiny little question mark, does he want me as much as I want him? That's when the feeling of missing you kicks in. This isn't about disappearing, it's about having your own orbit. You have a mission, you have hobbies, you have friends. When you're with her, you are 100% present. You are all in. But when you're not with her, you're focused on your world. You don't text her explaining why you didn't reply for an hour. You just live your life. Your presence should feel like sunlight, warm, powerful, and amazing. But not guaranteed 24/7. That's what makes it valuable. 5. The unfinished thread. This brings us to the final and most tactical technique. The unfinished thread. This is the perfect, practical way to create that mystery gap we just talked about. Like I said, the brain cannot stand an unfinished story. Think about your favorite TV show that ends on a massive cliffhanger. You think about it all week. You can do the exact same thing in a conversation. You're in the middle of a great story, and you say, "Oh, that reminds me of my elevator story. But you know what? Never mind. I'll tell you another time." She will immediately go, "Wait, what? What elevator story?" You just smile. Later, when the time is right, her brain is now hooked. This is the best way to turn a texting buddy into an actual date. She texts, "What are you up to tonight?" You, trying not to repeat what happened last Friday. She, "What happened last Friday?" You, short version. "We got away with it." The long version, that requires coffee to tell properly. Boom, you just created a powerful, curious reason for her to want to see you. She needs to know the end of that story. You're not being rude. You're being smart. You're letting her chase the end of the story. And in the process, she's chasing you. So, there they are. The 5 principles. Emotional echoes. Make her miss the feeling. Mystery gaps. Let her imagination do the work. Anchoring. Tie those good feelings directly to you. Strategic scarcity. Be valuable, not just available. The unfinished thread. Be the story she can't wait to finish. At the end of the day, this isn't about manipulation. It's about being a man of depth. A man with his own life, his own purpose. You're no longer the guy desperately trying to impress her. You become, the unfinished thought. The interesting puzzle. The story she can't stop replaying in her head. And that is how you live in her mind. Rent